It's 7 a.m., bright and early, ready to get the next day started. Couple of things on my mind for today. Yesterday we made great progress by getting this water tanker. Now, what is that going to do for us? It is going to allow us to purchase a greenhouse that can be used for growing vegetables, which we can conveniently sell to the grocery store we live right next to. Absolutely beautiful. This reminds me of some of those urban farming setups I've seen on YouTube and other places. So that's going to be our model for now. I wonder if I can get rid of this tree. I really would like to. Let's go ahead and, oh yeah, perfect. I'm going to keep this little guy. I like him. Boy, I'm very distracted, aren't I? Let's see if we can get rid of this one. This is more of a bush than a tree, unfortunately. Probably have to mow that down eventually. But as you can see from the bank account, even after our daily costs, we have enough to go ahead and order the construction of the greenhouse. So I think I'm gonna do that first thing this morning. Then we'll have to go ahead and get our job lined up for today, whatever that job may be, to make sure we don't just run completely out of money. Now the greenhouse I think I'm gonna put right next to the tent. So I need to move this tanker. There we go. And then let's go ahead and stake out the location for our greenhouse. I think this right here will be perfect. And look at this. What a beautiful sight. We're really starting to establish ourselves here. We've got nothing in here yet, but that's what we're gonna work on today, or this morning anyways. We're gonna get our tank filled up with water, which I can do right now with this beautiful little water tanker. Just pull it right up alongside. Let's go ahead and run some hoses across and fill it up. Looks like we have about 2,000 liters, which is perfect. Now let's decide what we're gonna plant in here. I think because it's the easiest to grow and probably lowest maintenance, I'm gonna do lettuce for now. And that means we now have an income stream that is not dependent on going out and finding jobs every day, which is just fantastic. And this should run year round. Even when it gets a little colder, this greenhouse should still operate just fine. So a couple of chores this morning. First, we're gonna go get some more water so that we're prepared when we need more water for our greenhouse. And on our way to the water company, we will go ahead and stop by the store to see what kind of equipment is on sale this morning. We have kind of a standing logging contract on that one property that we keep going to just a little bit outside of town. We don't have to go every day, but they said they're going to keep marking trees for removal, and we can keep helping as long as we pay them 25% of the income. All right, let's see if they have anything nice on sale this morning. Oh, look at that, a tractor. That would be nice. $16,000. Can this have a front loader? It cannot. So I don't know that that's the best option for us, but boy, would that be nice to have a tractor. We could do so much with that. But I do think a tractor with a front loader is going to be our first big equipment purchase because it's so versatile and we can do so much with it. All right, let's head off to the water company and get this tanker filled up. There we go, we're filling up, and this is going to cost a little bit of money, which is not great, but it's okay. $208, a little bit more than I would like to spend on water, but we're gonna get a lot more than that out of it, depending on what our lettuce sells for. Now, another key part of doing lettuce is that it's very light, and I do believe even with a full pallet, I'll be able to manage to kind of winch it up into my truck by hand, rather than having to have some kind of tractor or skid steer to load it up for me, which is huge because I don't want to have a big pallet of vegetables that I can't even sell. That would make me very sad. And you know, I really want to start making some strides here, so I think I'm going to keep an eye out today for a bigger job that I can make a lot more money on. It might take a little longer, but we can be running multiple jobs at once, just working on each one a little bit each day. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's see if I can tuck this tanker in next to greenhouse here. Watch out for those ropes on the tent. Definitely don't need this water yet, but it will come in handy when we do. We won't have to go all the way to the store to get it. There we go. Are we gonna hit the rope? We probably are. Let's double check here. Hello, bush. Yeah, so we can just park it kind of where it's at as I back it up some more. There we go. All set. So yeah, I think today I want to try to land a bigger contract. I'm going to, maybe I'll stop by town hall and see what they have for me. But also there's that property just here on this end of town that had that big kind of clearing job where they had mentioned eventually wanting to clear that entire piece of their property out, which will be a big job. There are a lot of trees. So that being said, let's stop by the grocery store for some breakfast and then we'll do some job hunting. Just gonna pull up right along here since I'm a little too long with my trailer. Perfect. All right, first stop is town hall to see what they have for me. And then maybe we'll go talk to those homeowners and see what they feel about starting that big clearing project. Just gonna park here in the alleyway and walk across the lawn. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see what they've got for us today. Good news. One of the folks who hired us to do the job that we did a little while ago, clearing that empty lot of a few trees, or not empty lot, but vacant lot because nobody's living there. They did have a few leads for us, so we're going to go check those out. They said there's a property just over here. It is an empty lot. There are no structures on it, but it's owned by the neighboring homeowner, and the homeowner has been planning to clear the lot for construction. So we're going to find that lot. I think they said it's down this road here, and we're going to talk to the homeowner and see if we can quote that job. There's our first big project we did in this town. Still looking pretty good, though they haven't cleaned it up very much. Let's see. Watch out for the train. I think they said it was this way. Let's see. Yeah, I just ran that stop sign. Not great. But it looks like I might be past it. Let's see. Oh, wait. No, I think this is it. Yeah, we actually looked at this previously, and it was owned by the store or restaurant over there, so maybe something has changed. Let's pull in. They said the neighboring homeowner now owns it. Let's talk to the folks here at this house and see what the deal is. So it turns out they did purchase this lot from the restaurant over there, or store. I don't remember what it is, but it's a commercial building which previously owned this. They weren't interested in having it cleared last time I talked to them, but now this homeowner owns this. And their plan is to construct a rental property, but they need to have most, if not all, the trees cleared out. So I told them I would give them a quote. Let's just add up the trees. I know I want to charge at least $1,000 per tree, unless it's really, really small. So there's one, a couple small scrubby things. Don't worry about those. Count that as two. There's a big boy. That'll probably be 1,500. Three. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So honestly, I feel like this is probably at least a few days of work, unless I'm just crazy fast now. And a lot of work, really. Probably a couple full days of work. Of course, if I have multiple jobs, I can kind of jump around between them. But we do need money, and I think I can charge a decent amount to kind of clear this out. Now, I think if I want to charge more, what I need to be able to do is rent a piece of equipment to kind of clear out this brush, which would just be a small mower. Of course, maybe I can just buy a mower to keep now that money isn't as tight. But things like this, I don't think I can cut this down. Can I cut it down? Oh, I can. Okay. So some of this can be cleared with a chainsaw. Some of it cannot. So I think I'm going to quote them. I think this is a $10,000 job. Now that's crazy, right? Because our whole goal was to reach 100,000. But remember, there's still a lot of equipment we need to have a solid operation. Sure, we could just go around and do a bunch of $10,000 jobs, but that wouldn't be the true progress that I'm looking for. What I want to do is upgrade our equipment along the way so we can do different kinds of jobs and eventually maybe some farming. So that being said, let's let them know how much we think this will be. All right, the homeowner, of course, has to talk to their spouse and they'll let me know. I left my number. So they'll touch base with me later on. Now, they did say there was another job behind the grain mill. It's a piece of property kind of adjacent to the grain mill, kind of a little corner piece, and the grain mill has been wanting it cleared also. These big clearing jobs are definitely something that I can charge way more money for, I think. We'll see if I can land an actual quote. Now, while we're on this end of town, let's go ahead and drop by this house and just give these folks a quote. They said they weren't ready for the clearing work on this piece of property yet, but they didn't seem like they couldn't be persuaded. So let's stop in and give them a quick quote. No pressure, of course, just while we're out doing quotes this morning. And they were happy to let me walk around the property. I always like to ask before I go creeping around people's houses. So this one, we'll just count the trees again. 1, not gonna count you. 2, 3. Wait, is that on? No, that's across the road. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, this one will stay. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is a bit of a bigger job, I think, with the trees. So 12,000 plus we would have to, again, rent or buy a piece of equipment to clear this brush. So that's also a bit of a problem. So I think this is going to be pretty expensive, but we have to charge for our time. This is at least a multi-day project. So we'll go over and let them know. Probably about 12 grand for this one. All right, I left the quote with these folks. Of course, with these big jobs, there's never really a knee-jerk decision being made, which is just fine and fully expected. I'm really not a pressure salesman, so I would prefer they take their time and figure out what they want to do with a quote for that much money. It's a big project. That's like in the territory of, taking out a home equity line of credit to pay for it. So definitely not something to take lightly. Now, the last job that I have any sort of a lead on is this grain mill job. So let's get up there and take a look after this guy moseys across the road. Yep, no problem. Small town. We always give pedestrians the right of way, of course. So let's head up here and take a look at this work over by the grain mill and see what we have. All right, they said it was just on the back side, and I think I see what they're talking about right over here. I'm just gonna park at the store. The store knows me, they won't mind. Just kind of try to stay out of the way. Let's take a look over here and see what we have. Oh yeah, it's pretty dense, pretty dense. Let me go talk to somebody real quick and see what exactly they want done here. Well, it turns out this is not a full clear job. They just want a few things kind of thinned out. So let's take a look. Probably this one could go. They weren't really picky. They just said it's a little dense back here. This is pretty close to the silo, so I would probably take that out. So there's probably 3 or 4 trees that need to go. They're not huge. Let's see. What do we want to charge for this? Maybe, probably be a pretty quick job. Maybe $2,500 for a handful of trees, though we have been charging $1,000 a tree. These back here can kind of be left alone, though. These here, I think I would clear. They're kind of scrubby. I would kind of get rid of these, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Let's quote 4 to clear out several trees, at least 4 trees, and just kind of clean up what's back here. Definitely. Oh yeah, that one definitely has to go. If I can walk up it, it's too sideways. After a bit of back and forth, they agreed to pay $3,500, which is less than what I would like, but we don't have to clear any bushes, which means no rental equipment. And there are really just a handful of trees here. This would be a good job for us to do today. That won't take too long while we're waiting on a quote, while we're waiting on those other jobs to decide. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the trees that I think need to go. Again, they weren't picky. They don't want it completely cleared. They just want it kind of cleaned up. And they left it up to me as to what to remove, so that's kind of nice. It's always nice to be able to make your own decisions. Let's go ahead and clear this stump as good as we can. Yeah, look at that. There's one. Let's drop this guy. Now this is gonna fall, yeah, pretty safe direction. It's already leaning that way, so. And, oh yeah, this is one of those trees that's gonna be annoying to limb. That's okay, we're used to it by now. How's this guy looking? I think he needs to go. A little thin. I'm getting better at dropping these where I want them, definitely. Let's see, is there anything else? That's 3. The rest of these seem okay. I didn't look back here, really. Yeah, I don't see anything else that really needs to go. I think they did say they want it thinned out, so maybe let's see if anything's crowded. Probably this one. Yeah, this one's a little on the foliage here. It's kind of mingling with the other trees. So let's drop it, and we'll give everything some room to breathe. Drop it this way. All right, we've got, I think, 4 trees dropped. This will probably be our job for today. Nothing too exciting, but a little bit of money in the bank to start padding out our balance with a couple of bigger jobs waiting in the wings. Next up, we're going to grab the truck, get over here, and start cleaning everything up. We're going to start right over here with this one because I feel like it's going to take a minute just to limb this. But our chainsaw certainly does help. The challenge we have is just safely removing everything without it rolling too much. That's what I always run into here. Let's get these limbs cut off. Shouldn't roll from these. Yep, totally did. That's why we have to be really careful. Boom. This chainsaw certainly is a huge upgrade. Another couple limbs cut off. It is messy, but, you know, that's part of the job. Gets worse before it gets better. The rest of that cleaned up pretty well. We still have, there's a limb. You know, I was missing something here. There we go. And is there one on this side? Nope. All right, let's go ahead and get this chopped up. Too heavy. Oh no. Still too heavy. Oh no, again. Surely this will be good. There we go. This is a pretty big job, so this could take most of the day, but I'm going to try to power through it and get things moving along pretty quickly. Hopefully, we'll have some kind of answer on the next job before the day's over, but a $3,500 payday plus whatever we make from selling the wood, which we know is not insignificant, will be a very nice outcome for the day. And don't forget, we have lettuce growing. Very exciting. Now that's more of a long-term thing. It's not going to be something that we get income from every day, and that's okay. I'm not overly concerned about that aspect of it. Right now, we're just kind of in an in-between mode of we're kind of stuck with these smaller jobs at the moment because of our equipment situation, and the smaller jobs just don't pay as much, but we need bigger equipment to get jobs that pay more. Though those clearing jobs will be good income, they'll just take a long time, multiple days probably, with the equipment that we have, which is, you know, not great for profits, but I think while we're small, we have to just appreciate what we do have, which is right now we have a good reputation in town. We have a small piece of property that's just ours. We can do what we want with it, you know, of course, following zoning laws and regulations. And it's just very exciting to have made this kind of a foothold in a brand new town, because, you know, a few days ago, we didn't know anybody here, and now we are making serious progress. And are we back to haunted wood here? Oh boy, these trees really do try my patience sometimes. Yeah, that wood is certainly haunted. Some haunted wood. Not my favorite type of wood. You are problematic. Can I just mulch you up? Yeah. New policy, haunted wood gets mulched. You heard that, haunted wood? Better watch out. What's happening with you? There we go. Cut this a little smaller. Boy, this is just a messy pile, isn't it? But that's okay, we'll get it cleaned up. So speaking of equipment, sometimes with these littler chunks of logs, I kind of wish we had our old wooden wagon back. I feel like it would do a pretty good job of holding some of these. You're not too haunted. We'll take you. Maybe I should start a lumber exorcism business in this town. We seem to have a serious problem with supernatural timber. This one's even telekinetic. Look at that. Very interesting. I think you're a candidate for some mulching maybe. Let's see if I can trim off the haunted bit. It's so haunted it didn't even move. Yep, still pretty haunted. Let's just see if we can get it in the truck here. Perfect. So speaking on equipment, I know I touched on this, but I think our next big purchase is going to have to be a tractor. Small tractor with a front loader and perhaps a pull-behind mower or mulcher. A mulcher would be nice because I think it will get rid of all these bushy things on properties that we need to clear. Oh yeah, you're definitely haunted. I don't like you. Get rid of that guy. See how this one is. Yeah, much better. But yeah, with a tractor, we just have so much more choice of implement and can do so much more with it. For instance, we could have much bigger logs. I'm sure I've said this many times. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. But that really is the next step. I'm going to grab bigger logs with some kind of piece of equipment. And I think a tractor might end up being more affordable than a skid steer, though I'm not positive. The tractor that's on sale at the store right now would be perfect, but it does not have a front loader attacher, so it will not work for what we need. Look at that thing float. My goodness. You, sir, need to behave yourself. Get in there like the other nice logs, and don't make any trouble. I'm glad I quoted a decent amount for this job, not $2,500 like I thought I was going to, because this is a lot of work, and it's going to eat up a lot of our day. But luckily, we don't really have too much else going on. I think that the truck bed is at capacity. How did you get there? Strange. You seem haunted, so you're going bye-bye. There we go. All right, one straggler here, and then that's tree number 1 for this job. Look at that absolute maniac. What are you doing? It's a circus log. That's okay. We'll just throw the strap over it. Nothing's wrong with this. This is fine. This is 100% normal and ordinary. Let's get this first round of logs sold, and we'll continue this job. Hopefully we can finish it today. We might have to come back tomorrow, but I guess we'll see. A little late in the day, but here comes our first bit of income for today. And let's see how much we get for this first tree. $2,000. My gosh. That is shocking. I don't know what kind of wood that was, but apparently valuable stuff. That really justifies the couple of hours I spent processing it. Not mad about that at all. I guess we'll work on this guy next. Kind of just a long straight guy. Not sure what kind of tree this is, but boy is it branchy. That's not really good, but it'll be okay. See if we can get it cleared off. And actually, you know, after limbing everything, it's actually a nice straight piece of timber. Let's see how small I'm gonna have to cut it. This one should go much quicker. There we go. I parked the truck kind of far away, didn't I? Apparently I wanted more of a workout today. Yeah, this tree is really a joy to work with after the last tree we dealt with. No wayward forest spirits here. There we go. And of course we can't pick that up. That's just too big. What was I thinking? We'll chop it down into 3 pieces and then we should be able to grab those. We can probably start on the next tree as well, since this one really just had kind of a main trunk. Oh boy, that was strange. Kind of had a main trunk and all the other branches were really mulchable. So that's perfect. We like these kinds of trees. I don't think I like that. You stay still, pal. All right. And this one. Well, that sun's getting low already. Really shocking how quick the light dies, especially now that we're into November. All right, let's get this one cleaned up a little bit. And of course, it starts raining. Lovely. Some thunder as well. Nothing like working around trees when there's lightning. I think we're about done with this one, though. This one was a mess to clean up. Maybe even worse than the last one. And probably not worth as much. That's the kicker. Let's get it loaded up. It's going to be wet, but, you know, it's part of working outside. Wind really is kicking up. Hopefully this isn't a rare late season tornado storm. Indiana does have those. every once in a while. Sir, calm down. That's just a rowdy log right there. Let's see if we can get him to behave. There we go. And the final piece for this tree goes on. Get these strapped in. Get in and out of this rain. This November rain, no less, which means it is cold out here. I think I have 2 more trees to clean up. We'll see if we can get to them before, or I may be wrong. Was that my last one? Let's see. Yeah, that's the last one that I felled. I don't think these all look okay. Oh yeah, there it is. I knew I had another one in here somewhere. Now it certainly won't fit in this trailer, so let's get this sold, see how much money we make from this load. Another $1,200. Now remember, that's $3,200 we've made, plus they're paying us $3,500 for this job. Really good income. I'm not mad at that at all. We've got one more tree to do, and I think we have just enough daylight. Really, if it wasn't storming right now, we would have plenty of daylight, but it gets dark early when there's cloud cover. And there's our last tree. Not a complicated one. Looks relatively simple. A few limbs to cut off, but nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna mulch up most of these stragglers. It's hard to see what's going on here in this bush. Wind does sound pretty spooky. I better get this wrapped up soon. Alright, let's see if we can start cutting this into manageable chunks. It's pretty big around, so I'm gonna have to go kind of small with it. There we go, now I can see. Who would have thought light would help? Let's get this stuff pulled out of this bush. I can't really see what's going on over here. Quite irritating. There we go. And you look a little unruly. Let's trim that off. Perfect. See if we can clean that up a little bit before we throw it in the truck. Perfect. All right, I think we're ready to grab these pieces. Maybe everything will fit in the truck bed this time. We'll see. Sure hope this rain does not turn to snow. When we start dealing with snow, we've got problems. But that's okay. Too bad we can't throw a shovel on the front of this truck and clear some parking lots. That would be all right. But I don't think this truck has what it needs to be able to do that. Okay, I think that's the last piece. I was able to fit everything in the bed of the truck, which is just fantastic. Let's get this off to the store before it gets too dark and collect our pay. Actually, first things first, let's stop in here at the grain mill and get our check, and then we'll go sell the logs. And there we go. We got paid for the job, a cool $3,500, bringing our bank account up to $7,000, and we still have some wood to sell. So let's drop in at Miller's Sawmill, get these sold before they close, and then we'll head home to close out the day. $889. And actually, the person who works the desk here gave me a tip. They noticed that I bring in very small chunks of wood and that my truck's all rusty, and generally that I could use some equipment. So they told me that there is a used equipment store out in the county. They gave me the address that sells used equipment, more than what the store here in town sells, and they said the prices are generally a little more reasonable. So I think tomorrow we will have to head out, find that place, and see what they have for sale. Let's stop in here. Our greenhouse is still just working right along. Look at those lettuces growing. Beautiful. We don't have enough to actually sell yet, but by tomorrow we might have a little bit. We'll see. Looks like our daylight has officially died. Beautiful clouds, relaxing thunder. Nice bit of rain, but no drippy leaks in here. We're good to go. So with that, I'm going to call it a day, and I'll see you next time.